My name's Dave Gunning. I'm a singer-songwriter from Atlantic Canada, Nova Scotia, and I travel around singing songs. I guess over the years I've written a lot of story songs, kind of from the third person. I haven't written a lot of introspective songs about myself. I've written a few like that, but for the most part I'm attracted to stories that I hear in other people's lives, I suppose. And so I've spent a lot of time doing that. But also, what I love about folk music is that it's a platform where you can address issues that might be important to you or that you think should be important to others, whether they be social justice issues or environmental concerns. And I like sneaking messages into the songs without being preachy about it. But I feel that that's important. Because over the years, a lot of my heroes were the musicians that they have a large audience and they make really good use of it. And that's sort of the road that I've been traveling down, especially the last decade or so. There's a song on the latest record called I Wish I Was Wrong. And my brother and I fought an environmental issue in our hometown. And as a folk singer, we're out spreading messages or singing songs, and there's an old guy at home that said, what you're doing's great, Dave, but clean your own backyard up first before you start going other places and singing these songs, And I became aware of an issue that involved environmental racism with the First Nation community and a dirty old bleachcraft pulp mill that had been dumping there since 1967. And everybody sort of knew about it, but we didn't know how bad it was. We didn't know how bad they were poisoning the local people and disproportionately the First Nation people who lived right there and everybody else in the greater community that lived in the town right across the harbor from the stinking old bleachcraft mill. And so we formed a group which is now called the Friends of the Northumberland Strait, but the original group was Clean the Mill. And we attracted the attention of local business people, and we received a lot of support from people in the pulp and paper industry who actually joined our group. And we were able to form a powerful group that was able to make a difference, not just by being screaming activists, but my brother said, let's move slow and methodically, and we're going to be factivists. So it's going to take a painfully longer amount of time, but we can build this cause brick by brick with facts and fight them in their arena with their facts. And we were able to make a big difference. And it took. I get emotional when I talk about it, but it was. I'm glad I'm not doing it anymore because it was honestly it was worse. It was more time than a full-time job, and I remember thinking to myself, I'm spending way too much time in this. I'm not with family. And sitting in a dark room reading documents and trying to educate ourselves all the time and getting ready for another meeting with government officials or industry people. It was over a decade of it, and I'm glad it's done. But at the time I thought, there's no way I'm going to be able to write songs. This is taking up way too much of my time. But just like the art of procrastinating in university, when I should have been studying for a finance exam and instead wrote a song, songwriting became my safe place. So whenever there was some sort of impending doom, I could turn to writing. And I started writing songs like crazy. And that song, I Wish I Was Wrong, comes from that. It's my first time here by myself. I was here in 2003 with an artist named J.P. Cormier. But it seems like forever ago. That was a long time ago. So I had great memories from that trip, but this is my first time coming here, doing my own thing. This festival's obviously has an incredible reputation. I can't wait to play these shows. I haven't played a show here yet this year. This interview is my first thing, in fact. So far it's been a great experience. But I remember when I was here years ago that something that I learned was when the audience liked something, they would clap and shoot, 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 shoot. And I said to JP, what are they doing? What's going on? Are they going to kill us? What's happening? JP said, you got the clap, man. That's great. That's a good sign. So yeah, it's common here, but not common in other parts of the world that I know of. It was a new one for me, yeah. This song called These Hands, and it's one of the first sort of, it's not really a call to action song in a way. In fact, I didn't want to be preachy about things, so I made it a question song. And after watching a Pete Seeger documentary, I felt inspired, and that's why I ended up writing this song. Some hands have held the world together. Some hands have fought in wars forever. Tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? Some hands have blessed 1,000,000 people. Some hands helped free the world from evil. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? The world could use a hero of the humankind. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? Some hands can stop a life from dying, and some hands comfort a baby crying. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? The world could use a hero of the humankind. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? I want to sing it from my heart. I want to hear it in the wind, till it blows around the world and comes back again. And all that we can ask is for ours to be free, to use them when we want, for whatever the need. Some hands give voice to a nation. Some hands wrote the times they are a-changin'. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? The world could use a hero of the humankind. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? The world could use a hero of the humankind. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? So tell me, what shall I do with these